Welcome to this very special episode of the MWM Project. I'm Riley, Mike, Griffin, and Nick. And today we'll be reviewing and discussing The Conjuring 2. I've seen it twice. Griffin's seen it twice. They've seen it once. We're a little late, a little behind schedule on this, but that's okay. First of all, Conjuring 2, it's behind its previous movie. Conjuring 1, its 4-day total was $47 million, and Conjuring 2 sits at $44 million. Does that mean it's a worse movie? No, it just means that people have less money. Actually, that's not really true. But Monday, it did lead domestically. It led the weekend box office. Internationally, Warcraft did.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You guys screwed up.
Definitely.
And then Monday, yesterday, Monday, it led the world again.
Good.
For Monday box office total.
Deserves it.
Cool.
So, yeah, Conjuring 2 is hanging in there. For an R-rated movie, a scary movie. On top of that, it's hanging in there money-wise. And, I don't think it'll beat Deadpool.
No.
Don't think it'll be even close, actually, because Deadpool ended up making $774 million.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's a lot for any movie, much less a rated R movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's for a horror movie, it's definitely doing just fine. First thing we wanted to discuss, naturally, was the true story element. Now, how did that really make you feel in general?
I mean, I can see how it could be real. I do feel it's a little exaggerated.
A little?
A lot. Exactly.
A lot.
I think it does add more of a fear element to it, I guess.
Yeah.
It makes you think, creeps you out a little bit more.
Yeah, I seriously think the only reason that based on a true story is there is for that attention grab. It's
loosely based.
Yeah, loosely. There are some true things in it. Obviously, the story of the Enfield poltergeist is a true story.
Mm-hmm.
The whole demon thing with the nun and stuff, that was an exaggerated thing that never really happened to the Enfield poltergeist.
It was creepy though.
But it was all just Bill Wilkins, and that's how it worked at the Enfield poltergeist. Yeah.
I'm 72 years old.
Yeah, quite a few of that stuff didn't happen though. But the actual voice, her voice changing, her floating, that was legit. And I thought it was cool.
Did you show the picture of that actually?
Yeah, the actual picture, and then they actually show, or you hear the audio from the original audio from the poltergeist. So that's cool to see that in the credits. But yeah, it's clearly exaggerated. But that's what you're gonna get, and if you want to be scared,
that's fine though. I mean, great movie.
It's not a documentary. Get over it.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
I don't think anybody asked for,
We want a Warren documentary. We want the true case.
I feel like that would be a great documentary. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm sure there's going to be one. Actually, there might not be one. I don't know. But if there's not, there will be one soon, I'm sure.
They did a lot of good work.
Yeah, they're famous. They're famous.
Mm-hmm.
This pushed into the next part. Are those scares that we're getting because, of the true story and the exaggeration of the true story, are they earned?
I would say yes. Maybe some are a little bit, cheesy, but I feel like for the most part, yeah. I mean, it really builds suspense, but then there's jump scares, but that's what you're gonna get.
Okay.
But
jump scares are fine.
Jumps, yeah.
No, jump scares are fine if they're earned.
I think they are. I think he did a really good job, especially with the camera movement. I think that adds to it. We talked about that a lot.
Come on, people. It's James Wan. Those are earned scares. I don't care what anyone says. Those are legitimately earned scares.
Yeah, I actually jumped twice.
Yeah?
I actually jumped twice.
I think someone's a good suspense builder when you're leading up to a scare, it's building, and there's no scare and somebody still screams.
Like at the end.
Yeah. Like at the end. That's when you're a good suspense builder, and James Wan's great at that. Especially, that kind of leads into camera movement. We were on to talk about that as well. There is no point in this film. There will never be a point where the camera's not moving.
There's some of the shots there's the one that goes up and through the bedroom window and drops back down. How in the hell did you do that?
In both the Conjuring movies, there are super, super long Steadicam shots that go all throughout the house, and they're super cool, and they cover so much story.
Right.
And, they establish stuff in one shot.
There's multiple. 30,
technically, that was
4
shots. But
30-second plus takes.
Oh, yeah. And, that's how you build suspense properly, like how James Wan does. But honestly, he's always dolling. He's always on Steadicam. The amount of Steadicam work is ridiculous. That's why he goes back to 70s, 80s stuff and how to build suspense. But the camera, even when it's supposed to look like a static shot, as if it were to be, instead of being locked onto a tripod, it's handheld. So anytime it's just a static shot, it's handheld. So that was just still a little bit of movement there, just enough to keep that, involved. Yeah, the camera will never be still in his films.
I did like how he used a lot of first person too.
He always does. James Wan is
I love it.
huge on first person stuff. Look at any of his films. It's all first. Yeah. It's really, really useful.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's why his scares are earned, honestly. Because the camera movement alone is suspenseful.
Crazy stuff.
He's also really good at using silence. Like,
Oh yeah, those are some
Yeah.
of the most like uncomfortable parts, like
Yeah.
when it's just quiet and nothing else is happening.
yeah, that's when it gets me a little
Yep.
bit. Because I think the stuff that bothers me the most is not jump scares, but things that, like,
Happen when you
things you can't see.
like
like-
when the little boy's sitting in the bed.
Right,
We talked about that.
Yeah, and the fire trucks come in. That's the stuff that bothers me. It's just like, oh, God, where'd that fire truck come
Yeah.
from? Where did...
They turned it on. Someone turned it on.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
turn it off.
just like in the first Conjuring. I always said the scariest part to me in the entire film, honest to God, the part that freaked me out the most was when she's at the bottom of the stairs and the ball gets thrown over the boxes in the corner of the
It's just,
and just bounces at her. I think that's terrifying.
and the
That's
clap.
way scary and everything. The clap doesn't scare me.
I like the clap.
I like the clap too.
I like the clap, but it doesn't scare me. It's just
This is like the first movie I actually.
The first time I
jumped
saw it, the clap scared me.
it's because you're a chicken.
at. This, like even though I knew scares were coming, they still made me jump the second time.
Yeah. There's some parts that are just so loud that you can't
Oh, yeah,
not
you're
jump,
just
you
like,
know? Yeah.
Jesus.
But another thing that's really cool about this film, aside from the Enfield Poltergeist, we get a look into Amityville, which
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realize. Like, everyone's heard of Amityville. Everyone has, like, seen that house. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people have seen the movie, whether that's the remake or the original, and, like, don't realize that the Warrens were the ones involved in helping the Lutz family after they moved in. So, yeah, that was cool to see. That was the opening scene.
It was cool to see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, right when I saw it with, like, my aunt, she was like, that looks like the Amityville house. I'm like, that does look like the Amityville house. And sure enough, it was the Amityville house.
It was.
Yeah, so that was really cool to see. And then the way they do it was really creative, having the way her vision works.
Yeah.
Yeah, her vision in general is really cool. So
Yep.
there's a lot going on there for Amityville. But the question all around was why, for this demon that's in the film, the demon that was supposed to kill, or not kill, but like is attacking the
Lorraine.
Warrens. Yeah, just
Yeah.
Lorraine and Ed.
And
It's like why is it a nun?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe just the creepy factor to it. It is. It's creepy looking.
Yes, I think
Me and
it's-
Holly kind of talked about it too. Like in the beginning, or not in the beginning, but like the guy Ed Warren, he says at one point that like doesn't he say like a nun gave him the
Well, his dad gave it him the
Oh,
cross.
his
Yeah.
dad gave him a cross.
Yep.
Okay, we thought it was. A
But
nun
I
that
think
gave him
so-
the cross.
He says that God.
mind.
I think a lot of it's a play on like that
The
God
God.
will always be there for you,
Because
but then it's a nun that's
demon-
attacking you, right?
Lorraine does say that when she's going to grab the Bible, she's like the demon's attacking my faith or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, or no, it's in the train. She says it that she's
Yeah.
like he's trying to attack my faith. So that could be why they used a nun because
Yeah. Now that I think about it, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that would be. That's the reason. That's like ethically, that's what I would say why they used it. But
Yeah.
otherwise, it's just kind of scary.
They
It-
did,
oh,
like,
it's
they-
scary.
Yeah.
That the scene in the like Ed's office or whatever.
Oh,
I did like that a
With
lot.
the shadow.
Honestly,
yeah,
yeah.
and
that-
painting
you
that was
know,
one of the scariest parts
For
me.
both crowds I've seen it with, that was the most effective part of the movie. That's when people got like really scared, and I don't really.
I saw it
I
coming.
didn't think it was too
I saw it
creepy,
coming
but
from a mile away.
I don't know. For some reason, that scene is extremely effective on crowds.
Yeah.
For both crowds
It
we were
was
in, that
awesome.
was the biggest jump we got. Was there?
I think that that whole scene was shot so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then using the painting,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in my head, I knew it was gonna be the painting, so I was
Uh-huh,
ready
yeah.
for that.
Mhm.
But
yeah,
like,
a lot
yeah.
of people weren't. They
or like,
thought it was
yeah,
actually,
when it like you see her behind, everyone's like, oh no.
Yeah, yeah. Like they kept going back to the painting. I'm like, we
Right.
get it.
We
the
get
paint.
into the painting.
And then
But,
sure
like,
enough,
He does change the painting though. Like there's a part where the eyes change and then
Mhm.
it gets like the black veins through his face.
Right. So I mean, that's cool. That's cool. That scene was awesome. Let's go back into the cheesy talk here. Of horror movies. The Elvis song. Can't help falling in love with you. Too cheesy, or is it was it a heartfelt scene for you?
was heartfelt.
I cried.
It was a little cheesy, but it worked.
The reason I understand it, okay, this takes place in 77, in December 77. Elvis died August 77. You got to squeeze an Elvis song in there. I mean, come on, why not? And then, it worked perfectly. But that scene, I mean,
they do talk about how the father always brought the music in the house.
Had
too.
a lot of Elvis.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was it's also a great transition between like sequences of the film because you go from it being terrifying, and then you finally get the family back. It's all happy again, and we're like, wow, there's a sense of relief here. And then we jump right back into the Crooked Man, and that was cool. That's a good way to do it. And then it also wraps up nicely at the end because of that, of that song. Cried both times.
RT.
Cried both times. Gosh, every time. I want to see it again just for that part.
I'm sure it's on.
It does hit
the
you.
internet.
It is on YouTube. I found it the other night.
He's like, I watched it like 8 times.
But it may be a scary movie. Clearly, there are some really good scares in there, but it's kind of funny too.
There are some good jokes.
Yeah,
there are some funny moments in there, but it's like the same joke just applied in different areas. It's the whole
It still works though.
It does. Like for example, one of the scares is that the mom tells the kid, "Don't eat all the biscuits. You'll get a stomach ache and you won't be able to sleep." And then the next shot we see is a cut to the empty plate of biscuits. So like jokes like that. Same thing with like the cops seeing the chair move, and their next shot is them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and they're out of the house.
like
like that is basically that type of joke. And that's pretty much how every joke lands. Like I'm pretty sure that's the same joke we saw the entire time.
They were funny though. The crowd laughed.
Yeah, the crowd laughed. The crowd laughed. Especially the
crowd
cop. The cop one's really funny.
It is pretty funny.
So, I mean, James Wan can do humor too. He does that in like pretty much all his films, honestly. Not so much Insidious. He doesn't really play with that in Insidious too much. But I mean, we see that kind of type of stuff in Saw. We saw it in Dead Silence. So it's something James Wan likes to do. So why as long as it doesn't take away too much from the movie, I don't mind. I think you need that. I mean, films like, of course, this isn't technically it's not even the same genre really, but like Scream does the same thing, playing off a comedy to add sense of horror. Right. Works for me. Works for me. Why not? Why not? All right, time to ask the age-old question: is it better than Conjuring 1?
Yes.
I'm gonna say no. I don't think so.
Why not? 4K. What's your reasoning?
I really liked the first Conjuring, and I thought it scared me a lot more than this one did. And some of the scares in the first Conjuring, like with the freaking bed sheet like coming off of the clothes wires and going up to the window.
Yeah.
And that is the coolest scare I've ever seen.
That is my second favorite.
That's
my second favorite.
That was a good one.
That's
I didn't even notice that
me.
the first like 4 times I saw the movie, and I'm ashamed of myself.
Really?
And I remember we were together.
Yeah, we were
and
together.
we were in the.
A lot of
do you
people
remember?
screamed at that part.
Okay, I remember seeing it again at like we saw it at Rachel's house again at like the bonfire. I was like, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "That's been there the whole time, Riley." I'm like, "Are you serious? Did you see that?" Yeah, that's a really cool scare. I agree with him to a degree. I actually think Conjuring 2 is better. The reason I don't think the scares play as well for you in general for the Conjuring 2 is because you saw them before in the Conjuring 1.
Maybe.
Like, once you've seen the way James Wan works, you kind of get it. And now he always thinks of a creative way to do his scares, and they always work, but you're not going to jump nearly as much, the second time seeing it.
I mean, the one scare that gets me is when it's Bill and
The Super TV?
That got me.
When,
Talking about he's in the chair? The vision?
Yeah. And she just, boom, every time it gets me.
Yeah.
It got me twice. Like, I knew it was coming.
I did my shoulder jump there.
I was like,
oh, hey.
Like, I knew it was going to come, and it still scared me. Like,
right.
I guess another thing is I felt like the Crooked Man part was just like placed. Like
that is I was gonna get to that. That is my like one like decent flaw of this film. The Crooked Man, I get it. Here's the thing though, if you're not paying attention to the wheel, like the Crooked Man wheel, that makes no freaking sense.
Yeah,
that's true.
The whole dog transformation happens, you're like, what the hell does this have to do with the movie? And I was like, you get it if you listen to the Crooked Man song, you're paying attention to that. It's not that hard to get. But like still
I guess since I was paying attention, I did enjoy the Crooked Man.
Okay, that part where comes down the hallway and it's a Crooked Man shadow,
Yeah.
I was gonna be so upset. And I was gonna complain to you if it came out like Crooked Man actually walked out. Since it was her, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
But if she would have
I was
walked out,
thinking
if the
that
Crooked
too.
Man would have walked out, I was like, oh my frick.
That was creepy though. That like how the shadow is still the Crooked Man, and then it
Right.
was like just her.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the real story, where the hell does Crooked Man apply? You know,
I think they just used that for an excuse to put something in that room.
maybe.
Which okay, this didn't make sense
Put
to
in the
me.
tent?
Why didn't
Or-
they put the chair in the room?
Which chair?
The one that Bill Wilkins died in.
Oh, why not? Like,
Why did
move
they
it?
not
Why
take
not?
that
Why
out of
not
the
move
house?
the chair? They didn't even real life either, though. They didn't move.
I know,
it.
'cause
She
she
the
died in
mom
it.
dies in
Yeah.
the chair. Yeah. So I mean,
Are you stupid?
are you stupid?
Can I add something?
Mm.
I know this isn't on the list, but I want to talk about the acting in this. I think the girl that played Janet did a great job.
I agree.
Yeah, she does do good.
she
Like
does.
I think of both times I was watching, I was like, man, how do you get a girl this young to like
At
pull
such
this
a,
off?
At such a young age, and the way she acts with like
The facial expression.
the facial expression.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah,
the
seriously.
transformation she makes from when it's actually her talking to when it's Bill Wilkins is insane.
She does
And,
good.
it's really impressive.
She does good. Yeah. Then you put those contact lenses in her eyes, and it's just
Oh, yeah,
total
when she's,
cuckoo.
like, when she's floating,
yeah, she's.
the Exorcist eyes.
Uh
They totally
Yeah.
stole that.
huh. Uh huh.
Bastards.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's how real exorcism rumors. That's how it's supposed to be. But but back to what I was saying. I like this one more. I get your scare, like what you're saying. I think this one moves just better though. And
I
can tell you,
agree.
I can tell you, seeing it a second time, I liked it more watching it again.
Might
Yeah,
have
so
to
did
see
I.
it again.
Might have to go see it again.
Might have to go see it a third time.
Like honestly, I liked watching like the second time I was able to just pick up on so much more. And then, there's kind of a twist in there. It was a cool way to play the story. And it just seriously moves better. And then instead of being all about the Warrens, I feel like the first one is all about the Warrens, which it should have
Yeah.
been because we're
Yeah.
establishing those characters. But like we're able to see the family, really to feel for the family, and like
Yeah.
you understand their pain.
and
And
it
the first
starts off right away. As
Yeah.
soon as you meet the family, it's
yeah.
damn.
And they're likable characters. I also liked, usually it's always the parents don't believe them, and then everything that's happening, it stops
Yeah.
once the parents in there.
That's
that
true.
didn't happen. I thought that was so cool. That
She was yelling, telling them all to get back to her room, and then the dresser
Yeah,
slides
yeah.
across.
And then it happens in the other person's house too.
Yeah.
right, yeah, exactly.
That was where the Crooked Man
Yeah, it was
showed
with
up
the
too.
Crooked Man.
Yep. Is that the first time we see the Crooked Man?
Yeah,
The
because
question
dog
is the dog
transformation.
okay?
Yeah, no, we see the dog at the end.
Yeah, yep. The dog
That's
was
right.
at the end.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
So-
I liked it better than the original.
Yeah, I just think it moves better. I don't know. I mean, I had to like watch them back to back again. I do agree
Yeah.
with you. That sheet scare is
It
the
is
best scare
great,
between the
yeah.
two of them. Because like little things like that is what's scary. You don't need a big jump, scary face thing going on.
There's a couple times where like she's walking around the house and Bill's in the chair in the side and you don't see it.
Yeah,
And-
that's another thing. James Wan does that in every movie ever. Like
Yeah.
he will. It's always stuff like if you see it, it's scary. If you don't see it, oh well, it doesn't take away from the story.
Mm-hmm.
He likes doing that a lot. He does it a ton in Insidious.
I think honestly, most of our crowd I think missed the fact that he was sitting in the chair because nobody screamed at me and you were like sitting next to each other like
Tell you what, the dude next to me, he saw it.
I heard him.
Dude, he saw. He was.
shit.
Yeah, he saw it. Oh shit. Oh. Yeah, no.
Don't do that. You gotta get out.
Yeah, but seriously, those are super effective if you see them.
Right.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. But I still like more Conjuring 1. I'm just saying. Yeah. It was just. All right. Did we retweet? Did we RT?
IRT.
Just kidding. Ignore that question. Okay, our ratings out of 10. Go around the circle. Start with you.
think I'm going 8.5.
That's really.
Do you disagree?
I just keep going.
I liked it.
I'm surprised you gave it that high.
That high. Oh, you've been going lower.
No, but you're kind of a dickhead when it comes to ratings.
Oh.
Shots fired.
No, I liked it. It was good.
Okay, here's the real question. Did you like it more than the Avengers?
Yes, of course.
Like Civil War?
Yeah.
I did too, but that's just me
Yeah.
because I like horror movies. Moving on. Moving on.
Moving on.
What do you got?
I'm giving it a 9.
Holy good God, you people.
And honestly, I would
lot.
say that it's in my top 10 movies of all time.
Yeah,
I really liked it that much. So yeah, I'd say even top 3.
I wouldn't say top 10. Top 100. definitely.
Okay. Okay, next.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I really like the music. That is one thing I really liked. Both Conjurings actually. I think
Joseph Bashar. By the way, Joseph Bashar is the demon. Just
Yeah.
saying. Found that out
And
at
in
Steak and
Insidious.
Shake. Yeah. Apparently his only role ever is a demon.
Yeah,
pretty cool,
demon,
though.
demon
That is
voice,
kinda-
demon,
demon.
demon.
I do think that is cool though.
Yeah.
How they include him in the movie.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
He's good though. He makes some really scary music. Very
Yeah.
old school music, I think.
Yes.
John
It's
Carpenter
good.
style.
John Carpenter's very simple.
Yeah.
He's Joseph Bashar is a little
stuff,
more
though.
complicated with
That's
his
good
music.
stuff.
I give it an 11. No, I'm just kidding. I'd say 8.5. That's where I'd sit. And that a lot of that goes. Ask me in a month, that might change. I don't know.
So you give it a 2 in a month.
My impulse rate.
Yeah.
But
I really do love this movie though.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes, 76% certified fresh.
and that's going off of critics. It sits at like an
8% of the audience,
right.
and then on IMDb, 8.2.
Right.
That's really good for a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
like the only reason this movie is rated R is because of how scary it is.
Yeah. Seriously, there's no blood.
There's no swearing.
There's no
There is
swearing.
blood actually.
Not really.
In the demon's mouth.
I mean,
that's the only
it's
blood, though.
black
Yeah.
for the most part. There is it shows red and she opens the first time, but honestly, not enough to make it R. It's
There's not
it's
enough.
seriously it is a R-rated movie on scares alone.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
there's hardly any swearing in the movie.
Right. Yeah. There's really not much at all. Nothing that would go over PG-13.
There was a baby in our movie.
There was a baby
In
in the theater. Listen to me. If you bring your baby into The Conjuring 2, rethink why you got pregnant. Okay. Let's just go home.
That and there was like 3 5-year-olds in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They enjoyed it though, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody was crying.
That was me
Well,
as a
there was a
kid.
baby crying.
There was a baby. He was
But
crying.
there was nobody crying on their way
Right.
out. That was so scary.
That
Some
was
of the
me as
posts
a
I see
kid.
on Reddit.
That was me
Like-
as a kid. I went to see. I saw Halloween Resurrection in theaters. I saw Freddy vs. Jason in theaters. I was 6. But
I wouldn't
were
say
you?
those are nearly as scary though.
There's titties.
Okay, that's true.
Opening scene Friday the 13th.
Yeah, the first scene of Freddy vs. Jason is a pair of titties. I can't believe it.
Yeah, but don't bring your baby to the Conjuring, please. The baby started crying
I looked
10
at,
minutes in.
I looked at Riley. I was like, "Is there a fucking baby?"
Yeah, it was like, is there a baby?
It kept happening. I'm like,
What? But okay, I don't know if I'd put it in my top 10. I could see why you would. Just 'cause, man, I can't even break down my top 10. I can literally only break down my top 3 favorite movies just because I always lock them in. Those are the 3 I have locked in. Otherwise, I'm always circulating. So,
Yeah.
I liked it.
Overall, we gave it an 8.5.
Yeah.
Our average sits about 8.5. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's
Hot.
pretty close to everyone else too.
Yeah.
Like all
And
the other-
even critics.
Even-
8.2.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it a lot.
Good stuff.
If you haven't seen it, you should definitely go check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wrap for us. So, moral of the story, it's a B movie. Chris Stuckman gave it an A, though. So, I mean,
That's a break.
yeah.
That is tough to do.
All right, that is it from us. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like on this and subscribe for more content like this. You can go ahead and check out, the podcast channel. You want to see us more often, head on over to youtube.com/RJ Productions Extras, actually. But you can just search MWM Project. You'll find us. And, check out our Facebook, facebook.com/RJ Productions, along with facebook.com/MWM Project Podcast. And then, head over to my Twitter at twitter.com/RJL_Productions. That's where you'll find all our content, including the podcast and my main channel. And if you haven't yet, please go check out our Jack official trailer. She's rolling around. She's getting a little love out there, and I appreciate that. We put a lot of work into that, so
We're excited. July 9th.
July
You ready to check that out?
ooh, coming soon. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Riley, Mike, Griffin, and Nicholas. Not Nick,
Aw.
Nicholas. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.
Take my hand, take my whole life too, but I can't help falling in love